This topic's kind of difficult because I'm not really sure where I stand with it, so expect a kind of back and forth with myself. But the question is, should artists, actors always be paid for their work, specifically when you're looking at student films, freelance, and independent stuff? Now, it's definitely a hot topic issue with artists and actors who are looking at, you know, doing things for their portfolio and for their resume and all that kind of stuff. And the big argument always is that you wouldn't expect an electrician to work for free, so why would you expect an actor to work for free? And I think there's a lot of validity to that argument, especially, you know, you look at artists who are making a lot of money off what they're doing but still expect artists to work for free and all that kind of stuff. And I think there is some questions to be asked about whether or not those actors should be paid for that. And I'll probably look at the acting side of it specifically, just because that's what I have knowledge of, and where my kind of industry knowledge lies, if there is any kind of industry knowledge that I have. Let's find out. So I think the most irritating thing for me with this whole argument is a lot of people enter the industry, specifically the acting industry, without studying the craft. And I don't just mean going to drama school or that kind of thing. Taking time to look at what the craft actually is and what acting actually is. If all you think acting is reading a script and being sad at this bit and being happy at this bit, then to me that isn't acting. And if you study acting, you learn very quickly that it's not about that. And actually, there shouldn't be an element of, at this point I'm going to act sad, whatever that actually means. And I think for a lot of these performers who enter the industry with no background, no showreel to kind of show, it's difficult for people to gauge their skill set, or you know, where their skills lie, where how they perform, and that kind of thing. And that's where working for free and building that portfolio is really, really worthwhile. And I know that because I've done a variety of work that's for free, and also I've done paid work, and I would never have been able to get the paid work if it wasn't for the work I did for free, which was, you know, professional stuff, which helped me put together a good showreel and that kind of thing. But I understand that it's difficult because drama school is incredibly expensive, and it's for people, you know, that can afford it, essentially, and that's upper class people. And don't mistake me for someone who's extremely upper class and, you know, has this kind of snobbish view that everyone should go to drama school, because the only reason I'm studying at drama school right now is because of the good graces of the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland and their program, which was essentially a kind of scholarship program. And had they not begun this program, I would never be able to be doing what I'm doing. And I think the things I've learned on that program have really built me as a performer, and I'm not getting paid to do that. It's something essentially that I have to do, and it's necessary, but it's not a paid thing. And you know, you look at these student films, because the independent filmmaking scene, independent theatre scene is so prominent these days, that there are so many young directors looking for people for their next project. And you have to understand that these directors and producers are themselves working for free, trying to build a name for themselves as creators of art, and they aren't necessarily being paid for what they do. So it's very difficult for them to then pay the people that they have on board. The things that people should expect are professional working atmosphere, you know, perhaps travel expenses, that kind of thing. Anything that kind of helps boost the production and keeps everyone kind of happy. But I think this expectation that you should be paid regardless of your skills, essentially, or regardless of what you've done before, is wrong, essentially. And I think it's bad for the independent industry that so much focus is put on you have to be paid, and you have to be paid a certain amount and all this kind of thing. There's plenty of that going on in the professional industry, so kind of leave that out of the independent scene, and it's really frustrating. But I get that there's an argument that, amateur theatre, for example, you pay to be part of an amateur theatre, you do productions, the productions then sell tickets, and you don't see any of that kind of money. And I think there is a question of, well, what do I get out of providing my time and my talent to your institution? And I guess the answer to that is, well, you get to be on stage, you get to be on camera, you get to build that portfolio. But I have seen where institutions take advantage of that, and it's actually a really, really difficult question, I think. And I'm really interested to hear from both people who are artists and people who aren't necessarily artists, but will, of course, have an opinion of that. I mean, if you look at other creative industries, writing and all that kind of thing, people also work for free to boost, especially online, to boost their online portfolio. The awesome interns here at One of Us, including myself, we all kind of just pitch in for free. There's no expectation of being paid, and I think that kind of mentality should bleed into the independent film industry some more, because right now I think the independent film industry's struggling a little bit with this kind of Hollywoodization of, it has to be attractive people and models instead of people with talent. And I think that's probably why in Britain especially theatre kind of has a higher reputation for those things, because it is based on talent and it is based on the skills that you have rather than, whether or not you get your tits out. But it's a difficult question, and I'd definitely like to hear from you guys. Should actors, performers always be paid for what they do? Or is there reasonable room for, building a portfolio, building a CV, all that kind of stuff? Where do you guys stand on that? Comment below, and look forward to discussing it with you more.